This is what needs to happen. The next time I go to work and I have a seizure on the way, the next time I go to a shelter and I have injuries or my disabilities become apparent, the next time I try to collect Social Security, the next time I go to the emergency room, I don't want my fucking getting hurt because my father wants to lie. That's it. When I walk into that emergency room and they call my father and they want to know what the fuck is going on with me, he doesn't lie through his teeth and get me killed. The next time I go to Social Security, I don't want his bullshit getting in my way. I have every right. I have every fucking right as a human being to be treated like a human being. I'm not talking about every right to collect Social Security. I have every right to be treated like a motherfucking human being. That's it. That's all I want. That whatever another human being in my same injuries walks in with the same disabilities, that I ain't treated differently because I have a father and mother who like to spin fantasies and lies. Because that is, I'm tired of that. That's the real problem. The problem isn't that I'm disabled. Yeah, many people have disabilities where they have seizures. The problem is I don't get treated like a human being. That other woman, I had a girl at work that had seizures. She was age 19, very shaky like me, a lot of the same issues. We discussed how we had the same issues. But one big difference. She's able to collect Social Security, and when she has a seizure, she can come right back to work, and her doctors are giving her epilepsy medication and medications that help with these seizures. That's the difference. She also has parents loving, or she can use a shelter if she needs. She also can go just about anywhere she wants in the country. I don't get those things. Why? We have the same disability. Why is somebody else that is human with the same disability as me getting treated differently than me in that same situation? Because she has loving parents that actually don't want her to die. My mother and father want me to die for their sins and want to cover up their mistakes. They don't want to clean up their mess. That's the difference. So what I need is my father and my mother's statements to be stop being lied. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. You're going to get another phone call from me either dead or trying to get help because I'm dying. And try not to lie through your teeth. Maybe call your son after 25 years. Maybe you deserve to call your son and get this straight. Maybe you don't get to fucking run off into the sunset. Or maybe if you do that, you're putting people in the danger. You ever think about that? And if you think you're just putting your son in the Zach in the danger, God works in mysterious ways. If you put somebody else's son into danger, you never know what can happen in life. God works in mysterious ways. You go, well, it's just Zach in danger, so let's let him die. And then all of a sudden, everybody gets sick in your family like a curse. Maybe God sends a plague down upon you. Who knows what the fuck can happen? I've seen crazier shit. I've seen McDonald's basically fall out of the sky just because I prayed in my head. Crazier shit has happened. And I would not ever, ever put something this terrible onto somebody else. I don't believe in even putting one finger on another human being. But I'll tell you what, my father is driving me pretty mad with his bullshit. I just want to walk into a doctor's office and get treated like any other human. I want to walk into a shelter and get treated like any other human. But instead, I can't do that. My father has a fantasy and he wants to push it. And it needs to fucking stop. He needs to come and meet with me. He needs to walk into offices and he needs to hear what really happened, and then it needs to be dealt with. I did not make your wife crazy. I did not make her what she was. I came right to your family and your wife was crazy. Right when I met this mother, she was already stealing my medals away and making up stories and fantasies to doctors. I didn't start anything. You did. Now, she's gone. What's a good thing? You can I've asked for her to be forgiven by God. You'll meet up with her and she'll probably, she'll have some answers. She had to answer to God. You'll know what she did when you're up there, and you'll have some answers to answer. And then I'll be up there with you. And then you can answer to me. And you can see things through my fucking eyes. And then see if you really get to stay in heaven. After you have a guy raping you, and a person choking you, and a fucking stabbing you, and you're drooling on yourself, and you're having seizures in the woods in New Mexico, and your mother is beating you with a stick. I mean, if you saw life through my eyes, Dad, you would be crying on the floor shaking in a second. If you saw what you were doing to another child, if you knew what it meant to see those things happen to you, you wouldn't be so free to run off in the sunset. If these things happened to you, if somebody held you down and forced drugs into your body, if somebody literally choked you out and forced poisonous food onto you, if somebody forced 8 different medications into you during childhood, if somebody trafficked you and denied you health care for your cancer, if you knew if you were getting very sick and there was a treatment right in front of you that could help you, but then I grabbed you and moved you around the country and kept you in basements, I am absolutely sure you would be crying on your fucking knees and you would be saying how horrible I am. You would be calling me the most evil person on earth for these things I'm doing to you. But yet you think it's okay to do to me. If I did these things to you, you would call me the most evil person on earth. But you doing these things to me for 25 years is just hunky-dory. No, this needs to be handled one way or another, and I'm not going to put up with any more time. When I get pushed off the grid, that no more chances, no more talking. I won't have a phone, I won't have an ID, and I'll be living in the woods like a squirrel. That's it. That's it. I'll have to move from Woodbine first, hitchhike to Florida, stock up on supplies like benzos, alcohol, different types of things that allow me to walk, and then I got to come up here and handle it in less than a month. I'll have 30 days to fucking confront people in Massachusetts, my father, the family members, the people in Algonquin, the people in Rochester, and I got to confront each and last one of them before I die. Each and last one of them needs to be at least given a note or some legal representation from a lawyer or some type of thing that says, you can't do this again. Don't be killing people. Don't be hurting people anymore. First, do no harm. Because what I'm seeing going on, I mean, it's just fucking terrible. You got rich white kids who have nothing wrong with them, literally on Social Security, driving around in cars, while people like me are having seizures on the side of the road, trying to walk to work 2 miles, literally getting to the hospital, waking up from unconscious, getting released, walking home, seizure, being left there, waking up, trying to still get home, falling down, hitting his head, fucking for 25 years of this shit. And you got fucking little rich white kids on Social Security. What the fuck is wrong with people? I definitely did not grow up no rich little white kid. And what's even worse is my father tries to make it out to be like that. Oh, we gave my son everything. Oh, is that why I got poisoned in New Mexico and there was no food allowed? Is that why all the food was poisonous and we were forced to get sick for a week? Is that why I had to sip on apple juice and shit and puke myself for 7 days in New Mexico? Is that why a black man was choking me out, or why I had to listen to a black man choke out an 8-year-old little girl naked in the shower because she wouldn't get out of the shower? What the fuck? No. I didn't have any rainbows. I was in programs with other orphans my entire life. My entire life. I had maybe a 2-year break. When my parents brought me from to Chelmsford, I think I had about 2 years in Chelmsford, but they weren't getting me any health care. I had just lost 3 years of education. Nobody was being honest about what just happened. My mother wasn't being honest. My father wasn't being honest. Nobody even knew what was going on. My father and mother only wanted to let me rephrase that. My father only wanted to agree with my mother. That's it. Just, yeah, okay, yep, nod his head. Yep, I don't know what's going on, but okay. Stay in denial. And my mother, she wanted to get me drugged as much as possible for made-up fantasies that she was creating. She would take one little thing that's real, like a swimming medal that I won, and then she would build a whole fantasy around it. Or like I jumped into a pool and back of my foot got caught and I need stitches. Then she builds that into I must have sliced my own foot open with a knife. Even though there's 10 witnesses that clearly saw me jump into that pool, now my mother is going to take one real fact. Zach got his foot cut open on the back. And then she's going to build fantasies around that. And she did this over and over. Take one little real fact and then build a mental fantasy around it and get your son drugged and hurt. Shut him up with pills so you don't get into trouble. And all I'm looking for is medical care. I just want to get better. I just want to learn in school. I just want a family in a house. I don't know what the fuck is going on with these people. I don't know what the fuck my mother wants, but now I do. Now as an adult, she wanted to get away with a crime and get whatever the fuck she wanted. She wanted a pet. She wanted a pet, and she made a mistake because she thought that if she could just drug a child a lot, then she could have a pet child. That's messed up. You can't just drug a child all the time. Well, that doesn't work. That's how you make permanent disabilities. That isn't how you raise a child. And now my father wants to try to act like it. Oh, it's all, oh, I want to run into the sunset. Oh, it's all some fantasy. Oh, yeah, then what are all those medical records all around the country? How about all those 1,000 people that have come up to me? How about the teachers that were worried about me? How about the teachers that called my mother a nut because of the note? Not because they saw my mother or anything. No, based upon an actual nutty letter that she was acting unstable right on the letter in clear view of everybody. How about the fact that your own family, your sons, your daughters, your other son, your grandson, all of us at one point or another have said we're afraid of your wife's behaviors? When does this stop for me? When do I get to live my life? Do I just have to die for you, Dad? Is that the plan? Are you asking me to die for you? Because you never asked me that. You just forced it upon me. If your plan is for me to die in the woods keeping your secret, the least you could do is fucking ask.